All right, I think we're live. All right. Well, we are live on YouTube. It's Friday today. For me, the sun is out and shining, even though it's Friday night. It's 4 p.m. here in Colorado, but for a lot of people, it's 6 p.m. on the East Coast. If you are watching this on the replay, if any of this is helpful for you, feel free to help me out by subscribing. It really helps a lot. But today we're just going to have a little bit of a working hangout. I'll be talking a little bit about what's going on in my business and what I'm working on and answering any questions that come up in the chat. So without further ado, let's get started. One thing I'm working on is I'm working on a YouTube series. It's going to be really focused around sourcing and getting started with eBay to Amazon. So I'm excited about that. I don't want to talk too much about it, but I think that's going to be a bunch of fun. Just going to post to the story, tell people that we're live. Jose, welcome. Good to see you. What have you been up to? Today, I spent some time. I'm thinking about doing a new YouTube series that's going to center around helping people get started with eBay to Amazon. And it's going to show a lot of sourcing and how I go about building up a replenishable sheet and how I go about actually finding the item once I find that an item is profitable. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm curious if you guys have any thoughts about that. FBA woman. Hey, Seth, really enjoyed your interview with Miles the other day. Oh, I don't even remember. Was that like filmed a couple months ago? Am I like crazy? I'm like, wait, I have an interview with Miles? I don't know. Like I must be blonde or something because I just don't remember. Was it a live stream? Sounds like good content. However, it seems like people like eBay content, like going to yard sales and estate sales. That's true. It's a good point. Yeah, we'll see if it catches on. I mean, honestly, to be completely blunt, the eBay to Amazon is better money than going to yard sales and estate sales, but people really like the thrill of the hunt. I mean, I guess that's why stuff like thrift store videos tend to do better than people talking about like wholesale or online arbitrage, for example, even though wholesale is better money. If I do it, I definitely got to center it around the sourcing because the sourcing is what's like a bunch of fun. People really like the profit, that's for sure. You should at least do videos once a week going to thrift stores to sell stuff on Amazon. Yeah, you think people would be pretty interested in that? You're probably right. That's like not a majority of my business model, but I think people enjoy that because it's really achievable. Because anyone feels like they could go to a thrift store and spend $10 to make $100. Oh, with Jon Muscarello. Yeah. That was a bunch of fun. We were on there for over an hour. I'm glad you liked it. Yeah, we had a bunch of fun. That was fun. I like Jon. He's a great guy. Yeah, and I mean, like, it is a bigger ask of people to like spend $1,000 on eBay to Amazon inventory. Even though for online arbitrage, that's not as big. Do I flip new stuff as well? Not as much. I do a little bit of new stuff. I try to be pretty safe about that because I'm not really looking to get item condition issues, you know. Like, it better be completely new and obvious in the pictures that it's new. Yeah, Jon's great. I love Jon. Yeah, I'm curious what you guys think about this. I feel like a lot of my videos are like I talk about a topic, and it seems like people care a lot more about the sourcing content, whether I'm sourcing from eBay to Amazon, or whether it's like going to an estate sale or yard sale. You guys think I should do more sourcing videos or more talking videos, or keep it a mix? Have you gotten IP claims on used items sold on Amazon? I actually have, and the thing that you just don't want to do that I made a mistake with is you want to actually look at the 𝗖𝗵𝗶 chart. And on a 𝗖𝗵𝗶 chart, you can scroll to the bottom and you see the amount of used and new sellers. If it looks like people are constantly going out of stock, that's often a sign that that listing gives IP complaints. And I just completely ignored it for 2 items. But besides those, like if I had just like actually looked at the 𝗖𝗵𝗶 chart, like I would have no IP claims on my account. Checkmate. What's up, Christiana? Glad to see you're done your session. FBA woman says, do you get item condition problems from your flips from eBay that go to your prep center? I do sometimes, but a majority of the time, like a customer just says, like, this item doesn't work, or they just say that because they don't want it, and it gets put back into my inventory as unfillable, and I just have it sent back to my house, and I figure it out from there. Yeah, so the brands that I got IP claims from were 𝗦cie and 𝗰𝗶𝗹. I can type it in the chat. Those. They didn't show up on IP alert. So looking at whether a brand is actually selling the item on the listing, and looking at that pattern of sellers going on and off a listing on a 𝗖𝗵𝗶 graph is much more relevant than IP alert. IP alert helps, but you can still get IP complaints from stuff that's not on IP alert. Yeah, you're welcome. The first one, 𝗦cie, is a docking station brand, and then 𝗰𝗶𝗹 is a thermal printer. I think they're a private label small business. How about brands like Samsung, HP, LG, major electronic brands? If I'm not mistaken, Samsung, I could be wrong. I haven't looked too much into their stuff, but it seems like a lot of their stuff is like restricted. HP, there's some stuff there. I've never gotten an IP complaint with HP. LG, a lot of their brands have the IP alert banner on the item, like when it comes up on Seller Amp. I've sold some LG and I've never gotten a complaint, but I've never been super deep in that brand. Another thing to look out for when it comes to IP complaints with used electronics is if you are selling something that's actually discontinued, like the brand doesn't really care that much. You know, like they're not going to take the time to sit there and file an IP complaint for something that they stopped producing in 2016. You know what I mean? Like they just don't care that much. They don't make it new anymore. It's a good question, though. But the main thing is that if you look at the listing and see that the brand is selling it and there's a pattern of sellers going off the listing like drastically, that's a huge telltale sign of an IP complaint. It's crazy to think that they can just hit you with an IP complaint for used items. Yeah, it's unfortunate. That's a barrier to entry that a lot of people don't want to deal with, though. So it makes this business model more profitable. That's the positive side of it. I sell on eBay and FBA. I think I sold on eBay for about a year. I did mostly clothes and shoes. And I was a newer seller then. If I had done electronics, it would have been much better. Used clothing is a grind. It is a grind. Electronics are much better, though. Did I take advantage of 4th of July sales? I did an RA run just before 4th of July. I found like 170 profit at Target. That was pretty cool. Did you? I don't do much RA. And a majority of the stuff that I purchased for eBay to Amazon, I mean, it's from eBay. So most sellers aren't doing 4th of July sales necessarily. I've heard there are some great sales, though. What's the end goal with FBA? Real estate? A lot of people reinvest profits into real estate. My like year to 2 year plan with FBA is I'm wanting to keep a good amount invested. So I want to keep making in the ballpark of probably 4 to 8K profit a month with FBA. And doing that, I want to reinvest into doing better with social media. I want to reinvest into concert ticket flipping. So that's another side hustle that I'm getting into. And I'm also reinvesting into like the S&P 500 and just a bigger emergency fund. That's the specific investments that I'm making in the 1 to 2 year plan for me. What about you, Jose? But I mean, there's 1,000 different ways to reinvest your money. Bluegrass Profit says, nice. I took a 256-mile road trip hitting up all the local Hibbett sports stores. Ooh, projected profits of 1,700. Apparel. Freaking Hibbett keeps canceling my online orders as of the fall. I kept wanting to buy Air Force Ones, and they would only let me buy a couple a day. I wanted to spend more with them because they have great rewards programs. Do they give the rewards if you purchase in store as well? Because they give like random $20 off online, I know. I was never like the hugest apparel guy, but I did it a little bit. Yeah, you're welcome, Jose. Just curious, what did you study or do before Amazon? Yeah, so I'm 28 years old, and basically I went to college. I'm a Christian, so I was going to be a youth pastor. I was going to help teach young people about how to have a stronger, better life. And I did my internship, discovered that wasn't for me, and discovered at that point that I liked the individual of that a little bit more, or like small group of that instead of like being on stage for 50 people. So I decided to go get my master's for counseling. And that was pretty good. I really enjoyed like studying people, studying people's habits, learning how to grow myself and helping other people grow. And so I was doing that for a couple of years in a master's degree. And I ended up doing my internship again and realizing, like this isn't quite what I thought it was going to be. Like it's a bummer that I've done so much school and realized now that this isn't what I like. But at the time, I was selling on eBay and Depop part-time. And basically COVID happened early 2020, and my internship got put on hold. And so I figured, let's give reselling a full-time a good try. I'll probably have to go to internship again in a couple months, but let's see if this is something that I can be sustainable. And I ended up doing that and loved that a lot more. So I discovered at that point that reselling full-time is definitely something that I enjoy doing. Bluegrass Prophet says, just signed up in store. They told me I get $10 off every 200 spent. And now you're VIP status after the weekend. So now it's $15 every 200 spent. Yeah, they better give you VIP status. I mean, you probably spent over $1,000 there, right? Their sale was 50% off clearance items, nothing excluded. So I loaded up on all the premium brands. Nice. So yeah, so you do mostly apparel then, I'm guessing. I think Hibbett sells more than just shoes, I think. Counseling is a challenging field to be in. There's so much mental health disease. Yeah, it's like almost everyone struggles with something mental health related. I mean, like, to be completely blunt, like I get anxious like a good amount. Like that's something that I have to work on. And no shame in getting counseling, that's for sure. Like it's just a reinvestment in yourself. We all have ways to grow. Jose, do you sell full time, or is this your part-time gig? And if so, like what do you do for work? And Bluegrass, is this your full-time gig? if you're spending that much, you're probably making good money. And if you're new to the chat, we're just kind of chatting it up. If you have work to do, feel free to do work together. I'll be doing a little bit of work as well, but I'm also answering questions and enjoying talking to everyone. If you're not subscribed, it really helps me out if you're subscribed. So it just lets me know that this is entertaining stuff for you guys. But yeah, if you guys have any questions and anything that you're struggling in your business, like I'd love to talk about it and help you guys out, because learning Amazon is rough. Jose says, I'm a nurse and face it every day when providing client care or patient care. I have a friend that's a nurse. It's rough. Yeah, he works in the ER and like he sees some crazy stuff and has to deal with some crazy stuff. Like, mad respect for nurses. It's not easy work. Anything and everything, LOL. All RA right now really need to look into the OA game. Yeah, retail arbitrage is good margins, that's for sure. It just takes more time. I discovered about myself that listing is like, I was never all that great at listing. So I got set up with a prep center and I'm sending items that I think will work at a prep center. That's a way that I can make things a lot more efficient for myself. Because like I'll be listing stuff and I'll sticker like 3 big items and I'm like, shoot, like I'm hungry. And I just stop. Like, it's not enjoyable for me. I hate listing. I'm the typical reseller who has a death pile. Like I did RA for like 4 hours last week and I didn't list the stuff for like a good 6 days. Like I only did RA for like 4 hours. Toys, pet products, bird feeders, ooh, apparel, anything with a clearance tag. But once sales took off, once I locked apparel. Bird feeders, that's pretty fun. Yeah, I mean, you can't be picky if you're looking for clearance. And it's like you're basically selling data points on Amazon. That's like, who cares if you know much about bird feeders? Like, if it has a clearance tag and it retails for a certain amount and it sells at a certain sales rank, who needs to know what kind of bird feeder it is? It's just the data points. I work in physical therapy. Unfortunately, that's my 9 to 5 for now, and Amazon is my side hustle. I mean, that's a good line of work. And you don't have cash flow problems like a lot of us Amazon sellers do. So it seems like you're looking to go full-time at some point. We got all of the nurse, physician, physical therapy, former wannabe counselor. We got Christiana in the chat, maybe my wife. She's a play therapist. We got all the helping people professions in here. Mateus Rodriguez, I saw your comment the other day, but I got offered a $1,000 loan at 13% APR by Amazon. Is that good? And will the offer go up in time? Capital is my biggest problem. Yeah. There's a couple things to consider when thinking about taking a loan. Like, first of all, you really want to be sure that you're actually buying stuff that's selling profitably first before you take any kind of credit, loan, et cetera, et cetera. Because if you're not able to be profitable with the money that you have, like, you really don't want to be taking out more money because you do have to pay interest on it. So that's one thing to consider. But when it comes to acquiring capital, the Amazon loans are great. Like, I love the Amazon loans. I mean, 13% APR is like high for an Amazon loan, but it's your first loan. So, I mean, do the math, like 13% APR. APR is annual. So that's going to be like a little over 1% per month. So what's 1% of 1,000? Like $10. So you're basically paying $10 a month in order to have access to $1,000, which hopefully is making you at least 20 to 50%. And if capital is your biggest problem, then that could be good. But yeah, also you could wait a month and it might go up to like 2 or 3K. I know I took a $23,000 Amazon loan, and after a couple months, they offered to refinance for me for $54,000. So sometimes they offer to refinance for you. So those are just some thoughts. I love the treasure hunt of RA. Bird feeders were end of season sales at Lowe's, bought for $10.42 and sold for $37.99. Put them on the shelf for 3 months before I sent them in. So are you saying that they were last like September, October? Or what? But yeah, that's some amazing ROI. That's probably 100% ROI, right? After fees. Certainly would love to go full time. Yeah, it's kind of going full time with reselling it's a lot easier if you're young and your cost of living is really low. Like some of these kids on Instagram, they literally live with their parents. They aren't going to college. And so they can just run up the numbers. They can reinvest everything because their cost of living is like $600 a month. And they still go to Chipotle and Qdoba every day. But then there's other people like I'm starting to get to the age where my friends like are spending 4, 5, 6K a month on like cost of living because they have kids. They're starting to buy houses and stuff. I'm in my upper 20s. And so like if you have the expectation that you have to make 6, 7 grand a month profit in order to go full time, like that's kind of big, and it might take a long time. We need a counseling FBA group, but it's definitely doable. You know, like 𝗦cie Hustles like was kind of in that same boat. He wanted to double his income with Amazon first before he even went full time. And you can definitely make that kind of money with Amazon, but it takes some investment and takes some skill, and you can definitely get there. Counseling FBA group. Anna says, nonprofit professional over here, very ready to be done. Like working in a nonprofit or like social work, or yeah, it's our society is just like really difficult because it's like once you're on a path to actually do something, like you spend 4 years in college. Sorry, my alarm's going off. You spend 4 years in college, like studying to be something. And if you like get in a job that you aren't super into, it's like, well, am I going to go to college another 4 years to do something else? But average ROI, it's been somewhere in the ballpark of 60%. When you factor in like the 30, 40%, and then like every once in a while I find 100% ROIs. The trade-off though is that my return rates are high, and doing eBay to Amazon is slightly riskier than regular online arbitrage. So that's kind of the trade-off. Yeah, thanks for the breakdown. You're welcome. Hopefully that's helpful. Just in general with acquiring capital, I know a lot of people on social media, and myself included, are sometimes kind of flippant about capital. and like acquiring capital and credit and everything, starting off slow is not the worst thing in the world. Like, you really want to make sure that you're profitable first, because it is an anxiety provoking thing and there is real risk involved. LOL. I'm curious what you're referring to, but it's good to see you, Dad. This is my dad, by the way. He started Amazon FBA as well. He made his first several purchases the other day, so I'm happy about that. Oh, so he's talking about 4-year college degrees are not always necessary to get into a successful career. It's true. I mean, yeah. I mean, a lot of people, they go to college for something, and like I've seen so many like people who study business as like pastors, and then people who are studied to be a pastor, like are in business or like end up working somewhere else. It's a good point. People really make like big pivots, which is cool. I'm glad that that's the case. Bought January 1st, 2022, sent them in end of March, early April. Nice. Yeah, there's some really cool capital building opportunities with RA. I'm not the best at RA, but I feel like I do pretty well whenever I go to a thrift store or estate sale. I went the other day and I found 2 vintage ice cream makers. There was one that was like this big barrel thing. It was going for $120 on Amazon, and I got that for $11. It was like a rival ice cream maker. And then there was also a Donovan ice cream maker, and that one was going for $70. I got that one for, I think, $10. Both had boxes and stuff. I love the box stuff. Like, one of the easiest ways to make money online, if you're doing RA, is to just go to thrift stores and estate sales and scan everything with your seller app that has a barcode. You can find some really good stuff. You just got to open the box and make sure everything's actually in there, you know. Those 2 are pretty high sales ranks, though, so they're going to take a couple months. Why not do only new items? You can. I mean, I have a friend who does eBay to Amazon as well, and he does new items. Or like, why not do regular online arbitrage new items? It's just like, for me, it feels like the margins are smaller, and I'm good at eBay to Amazon, or I'm better at it. So if what I'm doing is working, I'm not going to change something that's successful. Mateus says, I made $800 profit last month. Congrats. And it took 3 to 4 hours to calculate it. I need a better system. It gets complicated to stay organized with all the coupons, cashback, pending refunds, etc. Yeah, I mean, I honestly probably spend that much as well. That much time. I do a little bit of an add up every week to like condense my to-do list, look at how much I spent on inventory, look at how much I spent, etc., like on top of inventory, like softwares and stuff. Look at how much profit I sourced over the week. You got to stay on top of that stuff. LOL, we need an FBA counseling group. Well, if Mom gets involved with Amazon FBA once she's done her seminar, she can be the founder. She would be a very good founder. Mateus would recommend Inventory Lab. Helps to keep all that involved. Yeah, Inventory Lab helps. Without Inventory Lab, it's a nightmare. I do both RA and OA, but I love the RA the most. The most efficient way is using 𝗏𝗏 to find the best deals. Yeah, that's a good point. I'm pretty inexperienced with 𝗏𝗏. But a friend of mine told me to use 𝗏𝗏 as well, so I signed up. I found nothing, but I only went out once, so what do I expect? you guys have any last questions, feel free to ask them. We'll probably be heading off pretty soon. Craig Cordick, my amazing father, who we're celebrating Father's Day for tomorrow, says, looking forward to that. That'll be fun. We're going to go hiking and go out to eat afterwards. And there's a guy on the roof over there. Interesting. Anyways, how do you keep track of how much inventory you've listed and has been sold on Amazon and how much has not been sold? So if you go into Inventory Lab, which you have, and you sign in, you'll see that there is a, I'm going to wait until I'm signed in so that I can give the exact name. But a thing that you can do is you can go under reports and then go to inventory valuation. And then from there, it'll give a breakdown of how much inventory buy cost is at Amazon's warehouse. It'll also give a valuation of how much is inbound, and it'll also give a valuation of how much is unlisted. So if you're at a prep center that does unlisted inventory like you are, that'll show up there. And then it gives a total on the right. So you can see how much inventory is combined at Amazon or like on the way to Amazon. And then in order to see what's actually sold, you can go to reports and profit loss. And you can take a look at a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And you can see what items have sold. And you can see the fees that you have had to pay. It'll include like your inbound shipping and stuff, your seller central fee. And that's a really helpful metric. My bird feeders came from 𝗦𝗃 deal, technically paid for a year's worth of membership. Do you have 𝗦𝗃 Extreme? Dad, Inventory Labs can help with that too. Yeah, exactly. He has Inventory Lab. And yeah, it's kind of just a matter of using it for a little while until you're comfortable with it. I don't think I knew that there was a profit loss on Inventory Lab for like the first 4 months that I used it. Such a waste. I should have known, but that's learning. That's how it goes. 𝗦𝗃 has a weekly live training, and the guy's amazing, showing you how to use it. Technically, you don't go for one item. You go to look for them when they have 10 or more. Oh, that's a good point. So you just like keep looking at 𝗦𝗃 until there's a good amount of items, and then you make your trips and you look for all 10 items in each store that you go to. I'm assuming that's probably the way to do it. Like I wrote out how much time I spent thrifting and going to the stores, and how much potential profit I found and how long it took me to list. And just like I feel like I'm just so much more practiced with 𝗬𝗬. Like RA is a skill in and of itself. Yes, I have Extreme 𝗦𝗃. Yeah. Okay, so you probably use this with Extreme 𝗦𝗃. And it's cool because it seems like they give you local deals too, which is really helpful. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, it's a good software. And it's kind of necessary if you're doing online arbitrage to prep. But Jose is saying, yes, you can create a shopping list within the app, and it organizes it all by location. Do you try to have 10 items per store? Like, let's say you're like hitting all the Lowe's and you're looking for bird feeders. Do you also have another 9 items at Lowe's, or do you have like 6 at Lowe's, 4 at Home Depot. You almost don't need 𝗏𝗃 if you watch 𝗦cie hustles every day. Yeah, he is very consistent about his RA. He's very persistent. Yeah, the target deals have been amazing. Oh my gosh. I bought 50 Delta faucets for 30, selling them on Amazon for 120. Shoot, was that from Ace Hardware? I think I was in that aisle and I scanned like 10 of the things and there was nothing that amazing. But I didn't scan everything. I might have missed that, or it just wasn't in the store. There were a bunch of faucets on sale at Ace Hardware. Lowe's. Okay. Yeah, that is bank. Yeah, after fees, that's probably like $90, $100. Jeez. 30 into 90, $60 profit times 50. I'm really bad at math. I think that's $3 grand. Right? Yeah. $3 grand. Heck yeah. Last year I bought 15 dehumidifiers of this ASIN and now Amazon is out of stock. So are you in stock? A friend of mine was saying how he found like, I don't even know what the item was. It was like some like rat killer or like some weird strange niche thing that was like $10 and it was selling for like $80. And he found a ton of them. Bacon Bagel, who's sometimes on the channel, was saying that. I have to have them sent. I just don't know if I should do a pallet. I feel like that type of opportunity, 35 into 200. Like, man, like, are they huge or something? Maybe I need to do single boxes for each and label them as ready to be shipped. I mean, like, at most per box, it's going to be like $15, right? So, like, worst you could do is just send them all in one by one. If it's that type of opportunity, wouldn't you want to just get them in as fast as possible before Amazon comes back in stock? They're about 35 pounds. And they're in box, though. They fit in a large box from Lowe's. That's nice. Is the large box from Lowe's over 25 inches? And is your item over 25 inches? The thing that like bothers me so much is you're supposed to keep things under 25 inches with your boxes. And if like your thing is 23 inches or 24 inches, it's like, I don't necessarily have a 25-inch box just on hand all the time. But then I randomly have a box that's like 28 inches, and I can't send that one in. Yeah, they're in a box, thankfully. Okay, so they're 24 inches. Yeah, they fit in a large. Why don't you just like do one each? Like, there's no need to like have to learn how to ship out a pallet. Like, I don't know how to ship out a pallet. It seems like it's a really timely opportunity. I'd send those in ASAP. You said you have 15 of them? Oh, you bought them last year, and now Amazon's out of stock. Why not send them in? You'd probably save money if you did a pallet, but it's... I guess I would just err on the side of just getting them to Amazon. That's a nice find. Yeah, they need to go. They're probably burning a hole in your house somewhere. Probably don't like seeing them all the time. Oh, they're in the shed. Yeah, I decided one time that it was going to be a great idea to purchase all these little pink fong children's vacuum cleaners, toy vacuum cleaners. And like, I could have sworn Amazon was going to go out of stock Q4, but after like 3 months of holding them, I'm like, this is dumb. Like, I shouldn't be holding these for ages. So I just sent them in and sold them. I use BrickSeek for items like that of high profit, unless I can get multiple of one. Even if I do online arbitrage, it probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just have 𝗦𝗍 Extreme and like look at it every couple of days to see if there's opportunities, like big opportunities like that. And then I can pick and choose like when I want my 1 or 2 RA trips a month to be. Do I do any Amazon to Amazon flips? That is something that I don't really do very much. I did a little bit of book arbitrage, like buying from merch fulfilled seller and then selling it seasonally later. I know if you're into that, 𝗤𝗰𝗋𝗶𝗹𝗶𝗶, I think that's how you say his name. He does like exclusively setting keep alerts for certain like rare discontinued toys that go in stock every once in a while, and he just buys them out and sells them himself. Because he's really experienced with toys. I did some, but Amazon canceled my orders due to low inventory. Interesting. So maybe their accounting systems were wrong. And they said that they had 20 in stock, but they didn't actually have 20 in stock. Also, Amazon is a source to get ungated in whatever you want, FYI. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think I did that one time. I purchased from a, what is it? I purchased from a third-party seller. Or you can just do like Frontier or East Bay for Nike anyways. What were you trying to do Amazon to Amazon? The toys thing makes a lot of sense. Or like there's just some items that are really, really hot items, and like when Amazon goes in stock, it's worth just purchasing everything and then selling it yourself. There's also situations where there's multiple listings for the same item, but like one of the listings doesn't have a rank, and so things don't sell fast there. That could also potentially be an opportunity. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you everyone for hanging out together, and this was a lot of fun. We'll definitely continue doing these regularly. If you want to see if there's going to be another one, just check my story on Instagram or send me a message, and I'll let you know when the next one's going to be. But if you're not subscribed already, please feel free to like the video and subscribe. It really helps get as many people helped as possible. And yeah, it's really helpful for me. And hope you guys have an amazing weekend, and take care. And before we head off, Jose is saying, for tools, it works great. For Amazon to Amazon, I've done toys. I've also tried Nike shorts, but the inventory may be wrong. Tools. Tools is a huge category. All right. Well, I hope I see all of you guys later and in the next stream. This is fun, and I'm going to head off. Yeah, send me a message. I'd love to bounce more ideas off each other. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day, and take care.